Samore Love Bugs, you have now tuned into my blood, sweat, and heels recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe if you have not yet done so. Also, be sure to share this video wherever you like to share videos and give it that good old thumbs up. So we start off with Melissa Ford. She's getting prepared and she's practicing for this play that she's going to be doing. What is it called? For video vixens that have contemplated homicide when the video something, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I didn't write the name of the title down, but it kind of reminds you of that Tyler Perry play, movie for colored girls who considered suicide when the something isn't enough. That one. You know, that was one of my favorite movies, although I can't remember the title. Yeah, I'm bad with names and titles and things like that. Sorry. So she seems like she's super nervous, and she keeps on crying throughout this whole episode so much because their emotions are just flooding, because it's almost like when you, and she kind of gave this analogy, when you show your little baby to the world and if someone says, ooh, or oh, or she's not that cute, or something like that, it's painful. That's your baby. So this is her project, and it means so much to her because it's so personal. It's things that she has experienced in her life that she may not have shared with anyone at all, including her mom, who's going to be in the audience. So Micah, she's still hanging out with her ex, Terry, and Daisy comes. She's thinking like, I wonder if he was giving her a little bit of service. You know, because sometimes when you break up with someone, you tend to be familiar. You know what I mean? A little familiar. So that's kind of when you want that little service. It's like, we're not together, but how about you come on over? Because I don't want to go around and just be a slutty little whore and just give myself to the world. So maybe I can get with you since I know you like that. So that could be what was happening. Maybe. So now he leaves and Daisy's there with her. She tells her about her appointment with the doctor, and Micah's going to start going with her to her appointments, which is great. You know, it's definitely so good that she has at least one really good friend. Well, Melissa's a good friend too, but she has a lot of things going on. And luckily, Micah doesn't really have that much going on. She is pursuing her career, working on her career, because she said she doesn't want to put all her little beans in one basket, because once that basket tips over, I mean, she didn't say these words, she said something about eggs, but once that basket tips over, and you're left with no more little beans, it's like, okay, now you gotta fend for yourself because there's nothing, you have nothing. So that's pretty much what her mindset is. She's just career driven right now and not focused on any guy or anything else that's going to distract her. But she's there to be a good friend for Daisy, which I feel is amazing. Daisy, she's just like being so strong. She's been trying to fight back tears. Some tears did fall throughout this episode, but she's just trying to just stay positive and keep her faith. And you know, it's touching to see. It really is. It just gives you a whole new perspective on her as a person. So while at the doctor getting her radiation, there were like so many emotions that was going on and whirling up and down inside Micah's head while she was there supporting her, because her father just recently passed away to cancer. So it's like, although she wants to be there supportive and keeping the faith with her and going to church, and she knows how things can happen, it's like, my dad just died from this. So it's like, it can, and I want her to be healed, but you know what can also occur, which she's just trying to stay positive though and not mention things like that to Daisy. So Geneva, she's so excited about living in this whole Wall Street apartment, little studio apartment, and I'm just like, girl, please, because when Dimitri comes over, it's like she can't even have space for like a couch for people to sit on. It's like a bed and a chair and maybe a desk, and that's it. It's like a little 5x5, and you super excited just for the simple fact that you're in Wall Street. I mean, people will compromise space just for a location. And it's crazy. I mean, of course you don't want to live in the hood, but in the hood you get like a whole bunch of apartment, a whole bunch of house sometimes. I mean, sometimes you got to do what you can until you get to where you want to go. But I feel like she's kind of jumping the gun. I mean, for that, if you want to pay them, because I know it's a lot of money, she might as well start paying like lease to rent a house, or at least to own a house, I should say, because the money she's putting into this little studio, because it's in Wall Street, she might as well get a big place. But I guess she's waiting for Mr. Right to swoop her away or something like that. That's why she down there trying to attract the rich men. Oh, girl. I don't know. I'm really not a Geneva fan. I just see, she's just so shady. And, you know, I've dealt with the mean girls back in the day, and it's just like, I don't know. So when it's time for the show, Melissa, she's just crying, she's freaking out, and her family and friends are there to support her. Like, all the ladies are there. Geneva, she was there, you know, and Micah and Demetria, they see each other like when they first come in, when they first arrive, like downstairs in the lounge area, and they are just like looking through books and just kind of doing your best to not look at each other and just like, yeah. Yep. Yeah. You know, just like doing anything. And it just looks so silly. And then they just walk away from each other. Well, Demetria was the one that walked away first. So we also get introduced to the new girl, the new woman. Her name is Shanti. And I believe she was in this show that was on, what was it on, VH1 or... I think it was on VH1. It was like that show with the bloggers of New York. And it also had radio personnel. I forgot the name of it. But I think she was on there. Either she made an appearance or she was actually one of the cast members. But it doesn't look like that show lasted too long. I wasn't really too fond of that show. I've seen 2 episodes or so. And it just wasn't something I was excited to watch. Like, I would watch it like a week later on my DVR or something like that. But, yeah, because I remember her accent. I remember her, I think it was her. Or I've seen her on something before. Anyways, enough of that. So she is hanging out first with Demetria and Geneva. But then, like, later on, before the show was done, she ended up making her way over to Micah and Daisy. I think she feels like they have better vibes. I mean, I would definitely rather hang out with Micah and Daisy anyway, because they're both like energetic, they're full of life, they smile a lot, they're happy. While Demetria and Geneva, I just feel like they're Debbie Downers. They look for the worst and stuff. They complain about everything. And those are the kind of people that me personally, I don't like to be around. But one thing I can say about Demetria is that she's totally driven. And I love that about her. I love her passion. But as far as the attitude that tends to be displayed on the show, I mean, I don't know if she's really like that in person, but what's displayed on the show, it just seems like she's like a drag to be around, and one of those people that find the worst in everything and just complain about it. All right, so, you know how those mean girls, when they're being shady, and they just say hi to you so they can, like, just kind of call you out without doing it, like a passive-aggressive type of thing? That's exactly what Geneva did when she was sitting with Shanti and she was sitting with Demetria. She's like, she sees Micah and freaking Daisy sitting a little bit in front of them, and she's just like, "Hey, girl, hey," as though they were just hanging out last night, or they were talking on the phone for hours. Like, girl, you ain't talked to me since last season. Now all of a sudden you want to be cool? Get out of here with that. But they play along. They say hey as well. They didn't like be stink about it or anything, or not say anything. And everybody kind of like just says a little hi, just because it was brought out there. It was put on the spot. So the play starts and the audio was kind of messed up. That was like a little bit of a downside. Then like during the play, there was another part where the lights weren't supposed to go off and it just kind of like went off. But I like how, although Melissa was pissed off and she was, you know, kind of going off in the back, when she came out on stage, she was super professional and just kept it going like clockwork. She did what she had to do. And I love that about certain people, that they're able to just shut off the negativity, come back and do what you have to do and just get the job done. You can wail and scream once it's done or through intermission or whatever, but once you're on that stage, you gotta like cut all that off and become that actress. And I really feel like she's, regardless of how hard she tries, I think people are going to always connect her to the whole video vixen thing. But I love the message in the story. From the parts that I saw, it seems to have a good message where it's just kind of telling you that maybe you should think twice before you decide to go down this path, this road. I mean, it kind of did get her to where she is today, because nobody would really know who she was if she didn't start off somewhere. But she used it as a stepping stone to now create a better future for herself. And I think with that, she's trying to guide young girls into knowing that they don't need to start this way. And they don't have to do this, because there's a lot of things that people don't talk about that goes on. So I'm definitely appreciating what the message is that she's putting out there and how she's trying to empower women. And I hope she definitely goes far with this and continues to live her dreams, because she seems like a really good person. So now Shanti, she just goes up to Micah and asks her about Terry, and she said she's known him for a while, and then she also says that she's single as well because her boyfriend broke up with her. So she's trying to like form a bond with them. Like I said, she sees the Turn Up Girls and she wants to be a part of that. So it seems like they're going to form some type of friendship. There's another woman that's introduced towards the end, and her name was Arzo. I believe that was her name. It was kind of like muffled a little something, something. But I think that her name was Arzo, and she's supposed to be a good friend of Melissa, and that's why she was at Melissa's play. But from the trailers that I see, I believe she's going to be a cast member as well. So they lost that other girl, that bougie girl, who had that cabin up in the woods, well, up in wherever the hell it was, and now they brought on 2 other people. Was there anybody else that was there that isn't there anymore? I can't remember any other cast member that's being replaced. I just know that girl, but I forget her name at the moment. So, yeah, she's introduced. She grew up in California, but she's from originally Afghanistan. So, Geneva, she has to be the one. Oh, so you're what did she say? So you're Arab? Or did she say Arab? I think she said Arab. And then she's like, no, I'm Afghani. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. At least she said that. But, then she kind of said, what did she say? Then she was kind of like, oh, but she was like, I understand. I'm with a black guy. And it was like, wait, what? What? I mean, what? What you just said? Like, what? It just seems so odd and out of place in the conversation. Like, and I'm not one to judge and anything like that. Like, I don't care about no interracial dating. But it was just, like, so random that she just, like, threw that out there. It was just, like, she wanted to kind of show that she was part of the crew. You know, I'm down, you know? Oh, it's okay. My boyfriend's black. You know, it's acceptable. It happens. Like, what? And she wants to also reveal to them that her boyfriend is her 9 years younger than she is. So, you know, she's trying to say, yeah, I get him young and sexy and black, but yes. I don't know. It was just kind of like totally random to me that part came out on like the first meeting. I guess she's going to tell everybody. That's like, maybe that's her way to open up when she sees black people and she's trying to like, you know, show some kind of correlation. Like, we cool. We got something going on. It was just funny to me. But yeah, that was pretty much the gist of it. That was like the highlights of the whole thing. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down below. Be sure to check out my other channel, Samore Love TV, for fashion and beauty and lifestyle types of videos, as well as my love and hip hop recaps. The reunion comes on tomorrow, so be sure to check that out. Alright guys, be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Later.